Hello, today is Friday, July 17th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, U.S.-Iran tensions have erupted again as the American military reimposed a naval blockade and intensified airstrikes in retaliation for Iranian attacks on shipping through the crucial Strait of Hormuz. These escalating hostilities follow weeks of rising friction, and efforts to broker an interim peace deal have collapsed, with both sides now threatening the stability of global energy markets. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most vital oil shipping routes, and in the past, U.S. policy has responded to perceived Iranian threats with blockades and strikes to defend regional shipping. This latest crisis comes as over 260 people are reported wounded from fresh regional strikes. Brent crude prices have surged above $85, and India has responded to tightening fuel markets by raising export taxes on diesel and jet fuel. Iran has threatened to halt all Middle East energy exports if its own are blocked, raising fears of a wider war that could break the global oil buffer, further destabilizing prices. If the strait remains closed or Iranian exports are cut off, oil prices could surge further, energy importing nations may face supply disruptions and fuel shortages, and strategic reserves may be drawn down rapidly. The lingering threat of prolonged conflict might prompt greater investment in alternative energy routes and drive the global push to diversify away from Middle Eastern oil. Next, on to developments in U.S. election law and political fallout. According to the Associated Press, President Donald Trump used a primetime televised address to question the legitimacy of U.S. elections and push for stricter voting laws, reviving debunked theories about his 2020 defeat despite ongoing voter concerns about broader integrity issues. Debates over election legitimacy and voting law changes have intensified since the 2020 election, and political figures and influential businessmen now play an outsized role in shaping public perceptions and legal frameworks. On July 15, the U.S. Treasury announced a new $1 gold coin featuring Trump's portrait, breaking tradition by featuring a living person on American currency. Meanwhile, a bipartisan panel ruled that Elon Musk's $1 million offers to Wisconsin voters likely constituted illegal bribes, with a prosecutor given 40 days to decide on criminal charges. These incidents highlight continued misinformation and legal controversies that threaten to erode public trust in election outcomes and democratic institutions. Judicial responses to high-profile cases like Musk's alleged bribery may set new campaign finance precedents, and politicizing currency with living leaders could fuel partisan divisions. Stricter voting laws, fraud allegations, and ongoing investigations may further influence voter turnout and the strategies of candidates and parties heading into future election cycles. Turning now to advances in molecular nanotechnology. Next Big Future reports major progress in molecular nanotechnology, with over 180 successful atomically precise movements of carbon dimer molecules using innovative tooltips described in recent publications. Technical milestones have been reached this year, particularly through workstations based on inverted mode scanning tunneling microscopy STM, as detailed in almost 1,000 pages of papers and the 2026 CBN Nano Roadmap. Molecular nanotechnology focuses on atom-by-atom manipulation for manufacturing, and recent advances prioritize revenue generation and scalable processes to drive adoption across multiple industries. According to the roadmap, the creation of a revenue-generating flywheel is considered critical for commercialization, with strategies emphasizing the development of STM-based workstations and successful molecule manipulation. The near-term promise includes enabling scalable, atomically precise manufacturing in electronics and advanced materials, while medium-term forecasts anticipate rapid industrial adoption and new business models fueled by commercial flywheels. Successful deployment is likely to attract increased investment and scientific partnerships, but it may also prompt regulatory review of safety and broader societal impacts associated with precise molecular manipulation. Now, onto the markets. International markets saw mixed moves, with Germany's EWG closing at 41.24, while United Kingdom's EWU edged up, gaining about 0.4% day over day. The top gainer among international ETFs was Indonesia's IDX, up 1.5%, while Taiwan's EWT dropped 2.3%. Commodities were mostly lower, with gold GLD down nearly 2% and silver SLV falling 3.5%. Uranium URA posted the steepest commodity decline at more than 4%. U.S. sectors were generally stable, as the S&P 500 SPY slipped 0.5%, but healthcare Roman 45 surged more than 2% to lead sector gains, and real estate XLRE advanced around 2%. Top movers among favorites included Adobe AB, up nearly 5%, and Microsoft MSFT, gaining over 1%, while AMD fell by more than 5%. In the gainers and losers list, Faraday Future Intelligent Electric FA rose a staggering 270%, while NUV Holding NVVE plunged 62%. Among other highlights, Churchill Capital Corp Roman 9C6 warrants soared over 200%, and GeneDx Holdings WGSWW warrants were among the steepest decliners, down 71%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.